On this week's Waypoint, some serious changes are coming to boots, duo lane gold items and Doran shield, a handful of new champion bundles, and our LCS recap of week 5. What's up guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap for February 20th, 2014. I'm your host, Mike Shafton. Now it appears as though Riot plans on addressing a few of the support related items in 4.3, and they've applied these changes to the PBE for testing. Now it's important to remember that the PBE is designed to be a testing ground for these changes, and these exact changes might not be the ones that actually get pushed through to live servers. Keeping all of that in mind, the first universal change is that the Boots of Lucidity and Boots of Mobility are having an overall cost decrease so that they can be picked up earlier in the game. However, in order to compensate for this, the Boots of Lucidity now only supply 10% cooldown reduction, and the Boots of Mobility only have a base movement speed of 25. The big changes that Riot seems to be addressing are to the newly implemented support items, as they're trying to make them more attractive to duo lane players. For example, items built from the Ancient Coin have had their health per 5 removed, but now grant a 5 health heal in addition to the gold earned on these items. Or if you take a look at the Spell Thief's Edge, items now generate additional gold from hitting towers as well as hitting enemy champions. So why is Riot trying to build better incentive on these items? Well, it probably has something to do with the new trends in the top tiers as well as the LCS. If you guys have noticed recently, certain bot lane teams are opting away from these support gold related items in favor of the more powerful Doran shield. That's because this defensive item continues to prove itself to be more effective at early game pressure and survivability. Don't believe me? Then why do you think that they're also looking to nerf Doran shield as well? Riot has been testing some changes to help reduce Doran shield's effectiveness because, quote, it's warping the bottom lane matchups and pick structure fairly significantly. The relative power of the item has also dramatically increased due to the mastery, vision, and support changes, and so the item is just better in every respect this season compared to last. While the changes are only tentative, the current Doran shield on the PBE has only 80 health and 5 health per 5. While it's been admitted that the health per 5 nerf does seem a little much and could potentially hurt a few mid laners, Riot is looking for a proper solution to clean up the issue as best as possible. For those of you that are new to League of Legends, or if you guys are just looking to snag a massive bundle of champions for a ridiculously low amount of Riot points, then you guys should check out the brand new starter pack bundle. Riot Don't Hassle to Hoff hopped onto the forums and explained that in order to better the experience for new players, they've created a slick bundle to kickstart their killing sprees. This new bundle contains 8 champions that usually cost 260 Riot points apiece, as well as a 4-win IP boost and a 10-win XP boost. The icing on the cake is that you get all of this for just the low cost of 530 Riot points. This bundle is an absolute steal for both new and veteran players out there. Considering if you only need to acquire just 2 of these champions, it practically pays for itself. To get a full list of champions that are included in this bundle, be sure to check out the link that's in the description below. Or just look right here. But for you veteran players out there who are craving something new at Champion Select, Riot has released their new limited flexible bundles for the rest of February. If you guys are excited by the new 6v6 game mode that's coming shortly, why not try out their Hexakill bundle? At 50% off, this bundle's base cost is 4,937 Riot points and is filled with 6 champions that have reset tastic abilities. Purchasing this new bundle scores you Hired Gun Lucian, Mercenary Katarina, Rocket Girl Tristana, Bioforge Darius, Mecha Kha'Zix, and Chosen Master Yi. Or if you guys are like me and take glorious satisfaction in reviving from the grave after diving for a kill under your enemy's tower, be sure to check out the Life After Death bundle. By dropping 4,592 Riot points, you'll receive Justicar Aatrox, Special Weapon Zac, Haunted Zyra, Undertaker Yorick, and Shurima Desert Zillion, as well as be granted the ability to avenge your own demise. And also piss off the enemy laner while they call your champions passive OP. And finally, if you're more interested in breaking the law or busting out the fuzzy handcuffs, then be sure to purchase the Catch Me If You Can bundle for 4,028 Riot points. This bundle comes complete with the Femme Fatales of Piltover, Mafia Jinx, Officer Vi, and Officer Caitlyn. Next up, I just wanted to make a real quick announcement and tell you guys that our show, Summoner Showcase Revival, has found a new home on the LOL King YouTube channel, and new episodes will be uploaded over on that channel instead of on this one right here. Each and every week, we bring you guys some of the best League of Legends community-inspired cosplay videos and artwork that we find across the internet. So if you guys haven't checked out that show or checked out their YouTube channel, you can do so by clicking right here. Now, it's no surprise that Riot has been doing a phenomenal job delivering and developing their lore lately. We've seen a massive push from them these last few months to present the story to us, rather than burying it into walls of text. Not that the stories weren't there to begin with, we just didn't really want to take the time to read them. And that's why services like Audible.com are so great. With hundreds of audiobooks that are available for download right now, have your favorite stories presented to you instead of reading a 300-page novel. With a plethora of video game related topics to choose from, there's just about something for everyone on Audible.com, and if you head on over to audible.com/gamebreaker, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial and even receive a free audiobook to get started right now. Alright guys, let's shift things over to the LCS and check out the game between SK Gaming and Fnatic as they dive into Summoner's Rift. Crowd favorite xPeke and his team demonstrate early on while they're one of the top seeded teams in the entire world. SK initiates on what seems like a 2v1 in the mid lane, but suddenly a wild Wukong approaches. With some crafty footwork, LeBlanc manages to escape the initial assault from this gank, turn the tables on Vi, and secure first blood. As the game went on, SK appeared to finally uncover the flaw in Fnatic's gameplay, and noticed the poor execution in Fnatic's rotations. AD carry Candy Panda single-handedly baits out the entire enemy team, allowing the rest of SK to literally take Baron Nashor from right under their noses. Taking one objective after another, SK finishes the assault onto Red base with one last teamfight. Having 2 inhibitors down and super minions barreling down the lanes, Fnatic goes 2 for 2 and loses their last inhibitor. Double super minions add some final pressure, securing SK Gaming's victory after a 43-minute game with a final score of 13-13. Our next matchup has Copenhagen Wolves taking on the EU underdogs Superhot Crew. Right from the start, both teams seem to favor a lane-pushing strategy, pitting Renekton vs Shyvana in the top lane and Ziggs vs Gragas in the middle. Superhot Crew's bottom lane led in the early game with some pretty impressive ganks with the help of Wukong. However, things would start to tilt in the blue team's favor after taking control of Dragon early on. But this advantage was short-lived when Copenhagen Wolves make their call to push in for the Baron kill, and Superhot Crew decided to split push top and bottom lanes. This forced the Wolves to pull off of Baron, costing them the buff and a few key turrets. Once regrouped, Superhot Crew decided to make their own attempt at Baron and demonstrated amazing coordination by shifting their damage from Baron to the oncoming enemy, surgically removing 3 of the Wolves. Using this momentum, Superhot Crew secure the win at 37 minutes and go 10-14. Ending week 5 in the EU LCS, Team Rocket are now sitting all the way up in first place, with Gambit Gaming and Fnatic close behind in second and third respectively. SK Gaming and Superhot Crew are tied for 4th, and sitting in a 3-way tie for 6th place is Alliance, Copenhagen Wolves, and Millennium. Alright, now let's take it over to North America and catch some of their highlights for this week. First up, CounterLogic takes on Cloud9. The 2013 World Championship contenders decided to make the most of the early game by prioritizing vision control and capitalizing on it with some ganks. Sadly, things didn't pan out the way that they planned when CLG's Dexter slipped past one of Cloud9's wards, and Doublelift turns on the gas to boost themselves into range for Leona's Solar Flare. This was all that they needed in order to make quick work of the enemy Thresh and set up Dexter for the literal reach around by sneaking behind enemy lines. Clinching 2 kills early on with no answer back certainly lit a fire underneath Cloud9, and after an offensive engage from CLG, Cloud9 proves why they are the top dogs, turning the tables around, going 3 for 1, as well as taking down 2 turrets.
They get the quick kill on Answer. Very low onto Dexter as he goes down. Meteos forced out of the fight, but he looks to come back in. The Volatile Spider heading towards Link. They get a bit of damage. Can they pop him back up? They do. Cloud9 getting the fights that they want. High was in the right spot at the right time and came back down.
CLG hung on and managed to pull off 2 impressive Baron baits, allowing them to decimate the enemy forces and wreak havoc on Cloud9's base. This turn of events forced a surrender out of the once mighty Cloud9, and Counter Logic Gaming goes victorious with a score of 28-7. The last match of this week's LCS coverage goes out to a buddy of mine, Dr. Kepper. Oh yeah, that's right, it's Cloud9 versus Dignitas and the tiny little Master of Evil.
Coming in. Whoa!
Oh. All right, that is real, actually. That is a real Veigar pick.
That's right, folks. The star of this game, hands down, has got to be Dignitas' Skara on Veigar against Cloud9's High on Kha'Zix in the mid lane. Trying to steal the spotlight for even just a moment, bot lane gets things started with both AD carries dueling for first blood. Sivir and Leona begin by jumping onto Caitlyn, landing impressive stuns and skill shots, and bringing her down incredibly low on health. Just as things seem most dire, Thresh shows up to add just enough damage for Caitlyn's Piltover Peacemaker to finish off the job on Sivir. Later, Veigar really starts to hit his power spike, and he makes this very clear by decimating Cloud9. You can barely make it out in this clip, but Kha'Zix looks to be going to finish off Veigar, but instead is greeted mid-air by a Deathfire's Grasp and Primordial Burst combo.
Fight! Oh, getting exploded by Skara.
Whoa!
Great damage there.
Unfortunately, this game was just too much of a burden for our little guy's back, and he couldn't carry his team to victory. Maintaining superior team coordination and aggressive objective pushing throughout the entire game, Cloud9 takes the win against Dignitas, going 24-7. To wrap up Week 5 of the North American LCS, Team Solo Mid ends the week in first place, but Cloud9 are not far behind, sitting in second. Counter Logic Gaming and Dignitas are tied in third, and Team Curse sits in the middle of the pack at fifth. In sixth place, Team Coast is tied with Evil Geniuses, and XDG Gaming is at the bottom of the division in eighth. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. Be sure to check back every week on Thursday for updated League of Legends news. If you guys like this video, be sure to like and comment below, as I promise it helps spread our audience. And if you guys want to see more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, as well as esports, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LOLNation TV. I'm Mike Shaffnet. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Mike Shaffnet. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.